Hello, hi, this is Cairo. Again, welcome to Innovation Literacy series. And today we are going to look into one interesting topic called generating new ideas. Yeah, ideas and innovation, they are like twins. You can't uh, think of innovation if you don't plan to generate new ideas, right? In fact, a lot of things that I usually warn to my client is when you come to the innovation bootcamp, please hold on your ideas first, right? Without going through the approach, do not just fall in love with your ideas, right? So today we're going to touch a little bit, just for 10 minutes, about generating new ideas, right? How do you generate ideas, right? I see in many brainstorm sessions, people rarely get stuck at generating new ideas. So that's the great news. But the problem that I foresee that it's considered as a gap is what next after the ideas, right? Because typically, I think more than 70, 80% of time that we typically will generate our first few ideas are the me too's ideas. Heard it before, done it before. I heard someone does it. I did this before. Some other companies did it before. I've already tried it previously. So that typically, and most of the time, in that Me Too's 80% ideas, they don't feel excited about the ideas. That's the funny thing I observe, right? So, in other words, when they generated that ideas, the feeling is like, okay, just write something since this guy wants something, just give him, So they don't find it exciting. Why? Because they have already think about the solution after that idea, and they know the solutions are not that exciting, right? So this is the situation that I would like to help you with, so that probably by understanding how to generate better ideas with these techniques that I'm going to share with you, you will have a better brainstorm. You feel more excited. I have done this many times and I observe almost 100% of the time after they apply this technique, they become more excited. The group become more lively. They instantly feel, wow, amazing, right? So that's what you wanted, because these are the feelings of we call a motivated team, right? Without telling them, hey, I want to motivate you. Just by doing this, you feel motivated yourself. So isn't that interesting, right? So let's take a look. I prepared some slides for you so that we are guided. Again, corporate culture is dead. I believe build innovation culture instead. Let's take a look at this stuff. All right. So how you get to see? I don't know, I'm live right now. So generate new ideas. So new ideas are not necessarily novel ideas. This is another perspective, whereby most of the time when the brainstorming team try to generate new ideas, they are trying so hard to think of a novel idea. So what are example of novel ideas? Ideas that probably people have not thought of. Yeah. For example, that if you want to redesign the pill, the tablet experience, you're probably thinking about Neuralink, right? Those are novel ideas. But even Neuralink, Elon Musk has thought about it. So this group are trying so hard to outsmart or outthink Elon Musk when it comes to new ideas. You know what happened to the team? They got stuck. It's not that they shouldn't think about outsmarting Elon Musk, which is, I think, a great thing. What I want you to see is the moment you try to do that often at the beginning of a brainstorming session, you will get stuck. The team motivation will go down badly. It lower your motivation without even asking, right? So new ideas are not necessarily novel ideas. Yeah. So there's a caveat number one, disclaimer number one. So you can just generate whatever ideas come to mind, just drop it down, draw it out, visualize it, and on the sticky note or on the, if you run a visual session or brainstorming, put it on the keypad, WhatsApp and all that. So just whatever come to your mind, just drop it in, including your team members, right? Whatever that your team generative is, do not judge, do not qualify it, just dump it in, right? You just dump it in, right? And secondly, usually the first few ideas are me too's. This is what I said early on, just dump it, right? You heard it before, never mind. Because you are actually trying to work it out, right? And we actually unconsciously have been doing this all our life because this is how we learn. Whether you are thinking about a child learning how to walk, or you as a young boy or young girl trying to learn how to cycle. I train all my 4 kids cycling, and they go through the same process. Or you are trying to get back at your basketball game, or you try back at your inline skating like I did 3 weeks back. It was crazy. So typically, the first few tries are me too. You try it before, you try to recall, you try to replicate. That's okay, right? You read it somewhere. That's okay. You want to kickstart the behavior. You want to get the engine up here running. Okay. And I'm going to share with you what are other things that you could do, right? The first two are you've done it before, dump it in, 1x, right? So this is the ideation tools. They are actually hundreds, if not thousands of ideation tools. But I'm not going to go through all of them because you can Google and find out about yourself. You probably have a better tools than what I've listed here. But these are some of the things that I like. Analogous, using analogy, like I mentioned just now, if you were to compare a tablet with Neuralink, if we can do Neuralink, what else can we do about it? So you use an analogy to establish a new positioning. While radical expanding thoughts to completely crazy, I'll go through this in a short while. Word storm, you can use a dictionary, you take a book, you get stuck, you flip the book and point your fingers on whatever word that you see. So that words become your something that you could start with. That is body storm. Body storm is interesting. I tried this, I think, twice. Group together, lie down. You actually lie down on the floor and idea storming, right? I found this interesting when you do it with kids, right? Because kids get a new perspective looking up. Kids normally they are short little people, right? They normally look down or look at the front, left and right, very little too. But when they're able to look up, they rarely look up, because they don't like the feeling of the adults, so they don't like to look up. And they get to lie down, look up, they find it, wow, it's a new feeling, right? Superhero, using superhero powers to generate crazy ideas against, for example, like Superman or Wakanda or whoever, So use the superhero to come up with a new, what we call new ideas. For example, Superman has the laser eyes. Probably, what can we do with this idea that can just cut through whatever is in front of us, right? So those are superhero. Impose constraint is the best, actually, the less resources style, right? But what I want to emphasize on is the principles. The principles and philosophies will walk miles, right? So when it comes to generating new ideas, I want to emphasize these 4 philosophies, which is something that you can do in your next brainstorming that will lift up the motivation that I shared early on. The first one, the wild ideas, right? So encourage wild ideas. I get your team to think of wild ideas, right? Anything wild, dump it in, right? You will instantly feel funny. Your brain will tickle. Everybody will laugh. Everybody will like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's not possible. That's okay. Because number 2 is defer judgment, right? Dump it, don't judge, don't qualify the idea. It's not necessary. It's not needed yet. We are not voting yet. So defer judgment, right? Don't judge, dumping it. Number 3, be visual, right? Be visual means draw it out. 2D, that's okay. Just sketch, doodle, just line drawing, that's good enough, right? You don't have to be a good drawer, an artist for this, right? Just draw. You will find a big leap in trying to explain the idea. People will get the idea. And the best part, you will invite more questions. Questions means they are interested to know about the ideas, right? Be visual, draw them. And last one, go for quantity. Go for quantity. Dump it a lot more. Let's say you have 5 people, go for 20 ideas, 30 ideas, right? These are the 4 techniques that will lift up your next brainstorming, that will make your brainstorming session after this wild, right? So while ideas differ judgment, be visual, go for quantity, right? So these are the 4 elements of the design thinking. I borrow from design thinking philosophies that will reimagine, redesign your next brainstorming. That's all from me. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this Generate New Ideas webinar, 10 minutes. See you again. Join us, subscribe to our channel on this. You can look for Detailed Leadership Innovation Literacy Series. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.